Good afternoon, and welcome to this webinar presented by Trigg Minerals. Today, we're joined by Trigg's Managing Director, Andre Booyzen, and Chief Geologist, Jonathan King. Today's webinar will focus on the significant advancement at Trigg's Antimony Canyon Project in Utah, USA. I'll hand you over to Jonathan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here on this, I think, rather exciting occasion. I'd like to bring you up to date about how things have proceeded at Antimony Canyon, which is our flagship project, and of course our first foray into the USA, where we believe we're onto something very solid. Perhaps I'll share a screen with you, and we can just look at this picture, and I will chat to the picture. So hopefully it is incoming now and everyone can see it. And so I guess the thing to point out firstly is the original footprint. And you can see the original footprint in the solid red outline. And you can see that it sits in the southern part of this total claim package. And that area covers Antimony Canyon. Now, what drew us into the Antimony Canyon is that there is a foreign resource, a historical resource of about 100,000 tonne, a little bit over, of contained antimony metal. And that deposit sits in two parts. It sits on the north flank, on the eastern end, and it sits centrally, the other half sits centrally on the southern part of the canyon. So we sent a crew out there midway through last month, and their tasks were twofold. Firstly, to essentially confirm the nature of the mineralisation in those resource areas, and then to look beyond those resource areas for probable extensions and just to really get a flavour and feel for the project. And I think that is really where the excitement for us began. We know that the geology, or the mineralisation, I should say, sits within essentially, it was thought to sit, I should say, in the base of the Flagstaff Formation, which is essentially an interbedded sandstone shale horizon with a basal conglomerate. It's a calcareous unit, which is important for precipitating out the mineralisation. But the mineralisation was believed to be really contained to the basal conglomerate and the immediately overlying sandstone unit. And what our crew found when they were out there is that the mineralisation is not restricted to that position, that the mineralisation also exists right up through the Flagstaff Formation, which can be up to 300 metres thick. So our team was certainly seeing mineralisation at much higher levels, and on each occasion, the mineralisation is associated with the sandstone horizon. So that to us was very positive. The next thing that we realised is that the mineralisation is also very much focused around these north-south trending structures. You do see them in the diagram here. There is some interpreted fault positions, shear positions. We believe that there's actually a lot more. And these faults are important because to the south, they tie into what's known as the, I've got to get the pronunciation on this, the Pausagunt Fault, which is this major bounding structure that we see on the edge of this lime green coloured unit. This is the key fault in the area. It's been active and reactivated again and again, and there's been a lot of fluids that have been pumped along that particular structure. And we believe that that structure has fed these fluids off into these subparallel structures, secondary structures, which of course are then coming up, they're hitting these favourable structural positions, stratigraphic positions inside the Flagstaff Formation, and we're getting the reaction between these hot fluids coming in, the more alkaline nature of the calcareous sandstone unit, which is just destabilising the fluid complex, and we're getting mineralisation as a consequence. So why does that then become important? Well, that's the next step. And what we can say is our team of course, explored not only throughout the valley and up the walls of the canyon, they then stepped out into the adjacent dry wash canyon, which is over 10 kilometres away, and they identified further antimony mineralisation in this canyon. So, 10 kilometres by 300 metres thickness, there is potentially a substantial volume and opportunity within this play here, and that has us very excited. So obviously, what we're suggesting is that these faults, which we believe extend all the way through, potentially are bringing fluids up all the way through. We know that our target horizon, the Flagstaff Formation, sits basically all underneath this yellow coloured unit. It is this green coloured unit, and this TU is just really referring to an undifferentiated unit. So it's been mapped, but it hasn't been mapped in detail. But beneath that is our target horizon. We've seen, long-lived active faulting, plenty of fluid migration. We've got the right persistence of the stratigraphic horizon that we're targeting. We just believe that with that, this opportunity has substantial growth. So obviously what we want to do is get out there as quickly as we can. We are moving into a geophysical phase where we will initially target the existing resource areas and try and prove the definition of those. And then there will be a subsequent program which will step out through the remainder of the new claim area, which I should mention to you is staked at this point in time, and it's that dashed outline, white outline that you see. So we've substantially developed the project. We believe we've substantially developed the opportunity, and yeah, we're very excited about these new developments. And with that said, I'll pass to Andre. Andre, you're on mute.
Thanks, John. It's always interesting to listen to you talking about the geology and the passion that rubs off on all of us. So today I just really want to talk about Dry Wash Canyon area, which is an area that we've identified with a lot of old workings and adits in the area, and basically where the ore bodies are really showing themselves on surface. So we've really identified an opportunity for us to mine that area, and quite a few of those little ore bodies in the area. So mining that we're looking at will be on a small scale, small pilot scale, and we're really going to be looking at using surface mining techniques, obviously without sterilizing the ore for any future mining operations. So the ore that we mine on a pilot scale is going to be processed and concentrated on site. And to do that, we're actually investigating gravity concentration, and we're also looking at hydrometallurgy on a very small scale. Now, hydro is basically just leaching and electrowinning the metal from the leaching. So it's new technology for antimony, new technology for us, but it's not new technology in the world. So what are the advantages really of us starting to mine on a small scale? Well, there's probably four areas that's going to give us an advantage. One is it gets us into production fairly quickly, even if it's on a small scale. Secondly, it gets, and probably most importantly, get some product onto the USA market. Might not be a huge amount of product, but it does get some product onto the USA market, which is currently crying out for antimony supplies. Thirdly, it's going to give us a lot better knowledge of the ore body structure and geology, which is going to help Jono and his team. And also it's going to allow us for the longer term to test our mining and recovery techniques and the technology that we're going to be using. So really exciting time for us. We're also in the process of creating a community engagement strategy and plan for the area so we can start talking to the local people. And we've had really, really strong interest from the USA, not just from institutional investors, but also from some bigger groups in the USA. So really exciting for us. It's really important for us as well. It's as a team, we're really impatient. We like to move fast, and sometimes the challenge is to get some of the suppliers and consultants to move along at the same pace that we do, which is it can be a bit frustrating at times. So So just on our team, and we've got a really active board of directors. Everyone participates. Everyone gets in and gets their hands dirty and works. And obviously we've got some new appointments that you guys that we've announced in the last couple of months. And everyone's really working well as a team. Everyone's fully on board, and everyone's really working hard. So just thanks for the team, and just for our investors, thank you very much for investing with us. Stick with us in the future, and hopefully we can give you some good returns in the long term. So just keep watching this. Keep a lookout for our announcements. It's our way of communicating our progress and what we're planning to do. So thank you very much again, everyone, and bye.
Thanks, Andre. Thanks, Jonathan. That's all we have time for today. A recording of this webinar will be made available later on this afternoon. For further updates, please visit Trigg's website at www.trigg.com.au. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.